Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions in the worlds of TV, film, pop culture, social media, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis, and on social media, you know me as PD Beats. You'll recognize my guest from a show called Batwoman, which is on the CW. He plays Mouse, and he's also in Mother's Little Helpers. We're with Sam Littlefield. Sam, welcome to Popternative.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to be here.
How's the quarantine been for you so far?
It's been really, I don't even know how to describe, at this point, I don't even know how to describe it anymore. How has it been for you?
I've been productive. I haven't made this amount of content in a long time. You know what I mean?
Totally. I really have to just shut myself off from what's going on out there and just keep it, nuclear.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on the show, and congrats with the success of a lot of your projects, including playing Mouse and Batwoman. I mean, that's exciting. I mean, you're part of the DC universe.
Yeah, that was very cool. I had the most incredible wild ride. It was good.
Absolutely. Whether you act. Some people act, they write, they perform music. You're all storytellers. When did Sam Littlefield decide he wanted to be a storyteller?
I produced Phantom of the Opera in my backyard when I was 7 or 8. And then from there, I made this little show in my third grade class. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, I've been doing it my whole life.
That's awesome. And is there something that kind of drew you to it specifically?
My family's we were big Deadheads. Do you know Grateful Dead?
Of course.
Okay, yeah, we were big Deadheads, and I don't know. We've been an art-loving family. I guess it was just kind of raised that way culturally in a way,
Absolutely. You've been kind of working on some films. You've been working on some television as well. I mean, for you specifically, because, I've talked to some other people, and preparing for a TV or preparing for a film can be different. Is it kind of a similar process for you for preparing for a role, whether it's TV or film? Is it different, or is it kind of the same?
I think there's a little more time in film. Even in independent film, you have a really short schedule. There's still there's less moving parts, and so you get to really delve into things a little bit more. With TV, it's all so slap happy fast. You're just throwing darts at the wall as you go along. So yeah, I guess so.
It's pretty cool because you look at your role as Mouse in Batwoman, and what I really love about the comic book universe is there's opportunities. There's for example, there's Batman comics where they mention a villain for 2 seconds, and then people can kind of put them into a TV show and kind of grow that character a little bit more. What did you know about the Mouse before doing Batwoman?
Not much. I mean, it really was a discovery along the way. When I first started doing it, I was just dipping my toe into understanding the mythology of the character and the dynamics and everything. And it's been unlike anything in that way. Just the level of discovery along the way,
Mm-hmm. So I mentioned Batwoman, but you also did a project called Mother's Little Helpers. Can you talk a little bit about that a bit?
Yeah, we made this film.
Yep.
We went into pre-production on this film 8 days before we started filming, and then we shot it for 7 days with no script. Kestrin, our director, who's incredible, she had this really meticulous outline of how she wanted this to go about. But we all came together and improvised this film about this family that's basically stuck in isolation together losing their minds as their boomer mother is, they're saying goodbye to their boomer mother who's dying.
Yeah.
So it's weirdly much more relevant to kind of right now, and just losing your mind in isolation. We've all been kind of tripped out at the timing of it coming out and what's transpiring in our lives as we speak.
How's the reception been for it so far?
Fantastic. I mean, we were just listening to this review on NPR yesterday. And it's just really nice to see people responding to it. Because I think, and people like to kind of, my experience with it is that people that have seen the film, they tell us so much about their lives and their families and their losses. And it's just it's a sharing kind of a film, and in that everybody's experienced loss at one point or another in their lives, and finding the funny in it, because in any experience that's really tragic, there's always some inappropriate laugh at the most inappropriate of times, and I think that's kind of what our film is. It's been such a wild and awesome, fun ride. Making this film and taking it to South by Southwest, and now having it have the chance to, get other people to see it.
And I saw on Instagram there was a post you guys did a watch party or something.
Yes, we've been doing. Well, so Kestrin, our director, she has this incredible traveling RV karaoke bus. Wow. Where you get in it, and it's there's all of these electronics and lights and sensors and things, and you just are kind of sent into a vortex of karaoke joy. That any of that intimidation that you have in doing karaoke is just kind of gone, because you know what I mean. When you go get up and you feel kind of like a dick.
There's a lot of things I miss during this time, and I miss doing karaoke a lot, man.
You're a big karaoke.
Oh, I'm a big karaoke person, and just I'm such a big karaoke person that if you ask me my 3 go-to karaoke songs, I know them right away for you.
Really? What's your number 1 go-to?
Africa by Toto.
Oh shoot! Okay, great, good.
And then we get some "Since You've Been Gone" by Kelly Clarkson.
Okay, I'm seeing it. And
then we get some "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi.
Fabulous.
Those are 3 absolute must karaoke songs. If you're going to do karaoke for a rap party or something, if those songs are not played, I don't know what you guys are doing.
I completely agree with you. Yeah.
You're this movie is obviously a lot different to what you do in Batwoman.
It's very, very different. It's like a different vocation even,
Is that something that you kind of take pride in, being able to be kind of versatile with the craft of acting and do different roles? Because some people kind of stay in a couple of lanes in terms of the style of acting they do, right? You are obviously doing a lot of different things and experimenting different crafts, right?
Yeah, they've always been very separate. I've had kind of a television career over here, and then I would do these other projects over here, and they never really had any kind of a synergy to them. Mm-hmm. They just lived in different worlds, and this is really cool this year having them kind of come together in this way and have me kind of experience both. Yep. In a larger scale than I have in the past. And I don't know, I just like stories, and I just like telling stories, and I like hearing stories, and I think that's the main reason why I'm doing any of it, is I just really like stories,
What are some... Because the CW universe and the DC universe are such huge universes with amazing fans that they're so passionate and they want to know everything. You know what I mean? Are there some things about, like, did it take longer than people would think to film season 1 of Batwoman? Was it a lot more, was it not as much effects that people thought went in the back end? Like, is there anything you could tell us kind of misconception wise? Because people love the behind the scenes kind of things of that stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's I think been the biggest sort of production for television that I've been on, just in the amount of content that is being filmed all day long. And we constantly have 2 film crews going on at the same time. And Ruby is going back and forth between those all day long. So also everybody's like holding these insane hours. I mean, it really is, it feels like a traveling circus crew where we're in it doing this thing. And yeah, that's how it's been.
No, for sure. Well, Sam, thank you so much for joining me on Popternative to chat a little bit. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that was great. It's great to meet you, man.
It's great to meet you too. So people could see you in Batwoman, and people could also watch the film as well.
Yes.
Mother's Little Helpers.
Mother's Little Helpers. It's out on Amazon, Apple TV, I think VOD, and Batwoman is on CW.
And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
And follow me on Instagram at Sam Littlefield.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for doing this. Congrats on all the success of your projects, and I wish you all the best during this quarantine, man.
It's very nice to meet you, man. I wish you the best as well. Stay safe.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. And until next time, this is Peter Beats and Sam Littlefield signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.